Okay, thank you for joining the DTV News Show. Hello and welcome to the DTV News Show. I'm glad you're here. The DTV News Show was launched in 2025 with a simple mission to cover local and national political news clearly, thoughtfully, and responsibly. In a time when information moves fast and opinions are everywhere, our goal here at DTV News Show is to contribute to the public discourse by focusing on facts, not alternative facts, but facts, context, and honest discussion. We'll have a short discussion in the chat this evening as well. This channel will cover political developments, community issues, and news stories that matter. And who determines what matters? Well, the people do, and so do I, as your editor and host. My name is Dennis, and I want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to weigh in. I think that's very important as we move through the news cycles. So we'll cover political developments, community issues. I am in the local community here in Southern California, and news stories that matter, both close to home and across the country. So whether you're watching live or on a recording, we are live probably 2 times a week for right now. The rest will probably be recordings, but at the same time, we appreciate you taking the time to be here and engage with the news because that's so very, very important. And welcome to the DTV News Show. And this is where the conversation begins. So let's take a little bit of time to look at some of today's news. There's quite a bit going on, actually. By the way, we are live streaming on YouTube and on Twitch for all our Twitchers. So, by all means, in the comments, let me know where you're at, where you're listening from, and that would be great. So, let's go over to think about some of the reactions to some of the daily news, and we'll take a look at some of that. I think it's very important that we deal with those things first. So let's take a look at something today that really kind of, I think, goes under the radar. And here we're going to listen to this NBC newscaster, and he's talking to an Iranian foreign minister. And he's being asked, the foreign minister is, the U.S. has said they're going to attack in a ground war. And he's asking the foreign minister of Iran what he thinks about that. And I'm going to comment on, I'm going to let you listen to what he says, but I'm going to comment on what he says as well. No, that's not the one we want. Notice how the newscaster sits there in utter awe and stun that he asked a question that is just friggin' ridiculous, if you ask me. But he asked a question to the Iranian foreign minister, who we are bombing right now. Hey, President Trump said he's going to have a ground invasion. What do you think about that? And the foreign minister says, "Motherfucker, we're waiting on them." And he looks so you could look at his face where he says, "You're waiting." So it's ridiculous. Let's listen in. again, he can't believe the what the Iranian foreign minister is saying. I guess he was expecting some type of, oh, I'm getting on my knees to beg you guys. But this newscaster is really, he's what would does Trump say? Low IQ. So that just gives you an idea of what the media, and I'm not even going to call this guy the mainstream media. I know it says NBC News exclusive, but NBC has bent the knee, and so has CBS, MSNBC, or MS Now, or whatever they call themselves today, and and CNN especially. Now CNN, they're going to be taken over soon. So a lot of those folks, so all the people who got out of there, some of my folks that I listen to on the independent circuit now, Don Lemon, Joy Reid, Katie Fang. I listen to those guys now on the independent feeds, and I'm telling you, there's more and more independent feeds out there. DTV News Show is one of those independent feeds. And pretty soon, you're going to see Rachel Maddow. You're going to see Michael Steele. I think Michael Steele already has an independent feed. But pretty soon, the MS Now and the CNN, because I have heard and read somewhere that Stephen Miller has been talking to YouTube. And so I think YouTube CEOs and owners were at a recent White House dinner. So pretty soon, YouTube, which is, we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Twitch. Pretty soon, Donald Trump is going to tell the YouTube owner, hey, if people say bad things about me, you need to not let them have a platform. And if you don't, I'm going to do something to you, because that's his criminal way of dealing with realities. So keep that in mind. I do also post my news show on fanbase.com, which is a social media platform by the son of the famous soul singer Isaac Hayes. And it's a great platform. It has a lot of things that YouTube and TikTok and Twitch has. It's not well known, but they've done a really good job in raising capital, and I support that channel as well, because pretty soon, now Isaac Hayes' son, he has not bent the knee to mainstream media, so we don't have to worry about that for right now. But the others we do have to worry about, because it's only a matter of time. I think my friend Brian Taylor Cohen on BTC Network had said something very similar. But let's this ground invasion thing was really, I felt I wanted to share that, and I think it's something that we really need to pay attention to. The big news of the day, of course, is the firing of. Okay, it's not even really firing. She was just moved to somewhere else. She's getting the same government salary, so she hasn't been fired. She was just put on a different project. Christy Nome, Secretary Christy Nome. So let's take a listen and see what's going on there. So we've gotten Miss Gnome is has been removed. I think when they brought Tom Homan in Minnesota, that was the earliest parts of her getting ready to be dismissed. But like I said, she's not fired. She just moved to some other crazy thing, and who knows what that's all about. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. They still have the same people in place, and that is really weird. So, okay. The other news item. Oh, and this one is just really crazy. Many of you know Marco Rubio, and he made a comment at a World Forum recently, which I think is quite scary. And let's listen in to him. He's talking about colonialism. Okay, that's an important statement that he just said. The West has no desire to be partner to the managed decline of the Western Hemisphere. This is dangerous. And it's dangerous, and the people in the room there know it's dangerous because they were all world geopolitical figures as well. And for him to stand there looking like a fucking idiot and to say, well, before World War II, the U.S. was just a big hegemonic society, a hegemonic empire. We were going conquering all over the damn place. And but now, since World War II, when after that war, peace and the United Nations arrived, and there were not many outlaw nations that were just grabbing Cuba, grabbing Panama, grabbing all these different places, Philippines. And so he is saying now that, you know what, we want to do it again. So listen to this idiot. I really, this guy is just, you talk about a cuck. Our way of life doesn't interfere with anyone else's way of life. Hey, people, this is scary. And when you have people like this in office, creating, setting, administering policy on a world stage, it's dangerous. What he just said is no different than what Adolf Hitler said. It's no different than Frank El Franco, what he said. And it's no different than what any other dictator or authoritarian ruler says as well. Hey, in the old days, we could just take whatever land and country we wanted. Well, in the old days, I was a slave. But you know what? In the new days, that ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen to me, and it ain't going to happen to any of the other black folk that I know. So this guy, and it won't happen to any of the Mexican people either. This Marco Rubio, he's a Latina or from Latin America, Cuba, I believe. His family came when Castro took over in the revolution and ousted all the quote white Cubans who were in power at that time, placed in power by the U.S., mind you. And so now he is simply saying, "Hey, you know what? I want that back. I didn't get it. I wasn't born then, but from what I understand, it was great, and I want that back." And so he's in a position now to put his tongue to the ear of the president, and say, "Hey, you know what? We need to go into Cuba, and I need to be president of Cuba." So, but that's very interesting and very telling. So you do not want this man anywhere near the levers of power. Let's see. Oh, and one last news item here that is very interesting, and then we'll go take some comments. Is Tina Peters and voting. So she was arrested, convicted of voter fraud or interfering with voting in Arizona, and the governor. We'll listen to Cal Clark, I think is his name. We'll listen to a reporter talking to the governor about her, the governor of Colorado. Now, keep in mind the framing. Trump tried to pardon her. It's a state crime, so he cannot pardon her. And he said, "Well, I'm going to do it anyway." Well, of course, the courts were like, "You fool, you can't do it." And but he said, "Well, I'm going to do it, and if they don't, the governor doesn't comply or doesn't bend the knee to what I want, then Colorado's not going to get anything from the federal government, and we're going to stop all the money that goes there." So this type of quid pro quo is the way he's been doing bully business. But let's take a listen to this, and you can tell the reporter is pressing the governor because I think the governor has or is about to bend over. I wonder if he's looked for that in other cases that don't involve a blonde haired old white woman. That would be a question I would want to ask the governor. He's a Democratic governor, but probably Democrat just on the desktop. But here he is simply saying that he wants to see her say, "I'm sorry." Let's take Okay, so did you hear that? Colorado is going to be punished until she is free. Quid pro quo. Not just quid pro quo, but downright embezzlement and gangsterism. So, as you can see, he's ready to bend the knee. It's He's ready to bend the knee, and that right there is just going to be horrible. So let's take a look at. Okay, let's. Okay, there we go. I had to see if I could stop that. The um, the the recent elections, primary elections in Texas, North Carolina, and a couple other states are over. The votes are in. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and Congressman Al Green did not make it through the primaries. Now, this was due to redistricting. They were moved out of their districts by the Texas, the political criminals in Texas. So they lost their seat. Well, Jasmine didn't lose her seat because she was running for Senate. She's still in Congress, but the other, she did not win, and she ran against James Tellerico, a Texas State House person. So he's in the Texas State House. Now, one of the things that came up, because the Democrats did win in most of these areas, they won big as well. And one of the things that Mr. Crunchy Hands said was he wants to pick the people that can run in the Republican elections. Okay, get what I'm saying here. He says he wants to pick the people that he believes should be running. And in his statement here, he says the Republican Party have been virtually insurmountable. It is such an honor to realize and say that almost everyone I endorse wins. and wins by a lot. This is not true, especially in Texas. I will be making my endorsement soon and will be asking the candidate that I don't endorse to immediately drop out of the race. Now, here again, quid pro quo, criminal gangsterism. That's what this man is, and I hope. Well, if it's a Republican, they're all going to bend the knee. They'll do what he tells them to do. So, but he can do that, and if they want to, bend over for him, then that's up to them. But it's ridiculous, and of course, the the Crockett and Tellerico, their race was not that close. Many people here's the thing that gets me. Many people like what Jasmine Crockett does and says when she's on the dais in Congress. She's a fighter. She fights for her congressional district. She fights for the American people. However, when it came down to the election, and it was very apparent, one white lady said, "Oh my God," and she was almost crying. "Oh, I really, really like Jasmine. She fights for us. I really want to vote for her, but James Tellerico seems like he can win." And the reporter who was talking to her, I don't think it was a seasoned reporter, but should have asked her, "Why do you think that?" And should have even went further to ask or say, "Do you think that because he's a white male?" But the reporter didn't ask these questions. I would have. From the DTV News Show, we would have asked those questions because we want to get to the heart of the matter. But in any event, it looks like what happened in that election, and I've listened to Joy Reid. I love you, Joy. But I've listened to Joy Reid. I've listened to Don Lemon. I've listened to who else? A few other independent media outlets, and they all sit there for hours trying to parse this election. Not very easy, not very difficult from my small mind, low IQ. But what I think is, and I'm pretty sure this is the way it is, the people in Texas are, you know, they just ain't right. Okay, I'm just going to say that and leave it there. But they, instead of the woman who will fight for them, as in the Senate, they wanted to pick the white guy that they think is religious and is electable. Jasmine Crockett's family and father is religious as well, so she comes from the same religious upbringing as this guy. However, like I said, because he's a white guy. Now, I'm not going to say because she's a woman, because I don't think gender matters in this case. Whether she's woman or man, I don't think matters in this case. But what does matter is what Texas is known for many, many decades and hundreds of years. And that's the racism. Oh, we say things on the DTV News Show that people probably don't want to hear. But that's really what my opinion is. And I'm welcome to my opinion, just like you're welcome to listen or not listen. So, on a lighter note, I wanted to share something I saw, because we do lighter note things too. Thank you to all our Twitch fans and YouTube fans. I do stream on Kick. I also upload the weekly show to fanbase.com. So make sure you check that out as well. And also subscribe. And also, let's I'm trying to find my, okay, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. So, I wanted to make sure that we got some of the folks on the site here, and so it's thank you, Video Ninja, Lucy from YouTube, and we really appreciate everyone joining, and I will please make your comments as well. We do read all the comments, but I wanted to share this one thing I saw. I think it's really important, and in our world we have to have some levity. But check this basketball star out. She's a Muslim star, female basketball player. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. That's a pretty talented young lady, and I'm pretty sure she's got a great career ahead of us. And with that, thank you for watching DTV, and we will see you at the next podcast.